Welcome to This Week in West Hempstead for the week of August 16th. I'm your host, David Kirshner. We have a special guest host, Paul Gurwitz. Welcome, Paul.
Hello, thanks, Dave. Nice to be here.
You know what? We're kind of in the back end of the summer. A lot of people are out on vacation. So, Paul was just gracious enough to kind of sit in and kind of roll with the punches, if you will, on the stories that are making headlines in West Hempstead.
Oh, let's get to it.
All right, let's just dive in. So the first story we got today are the Democratic primary elections, which are coming up for the 4th Congressional District. And
It's a week from today.
A week from today, the August 23rd is the voting day, but the polls are open at the library, and you can go any day up until 7 p.m. and vote.
Right. It seems like Kathleen Rice had 2 terms and decided not to run for re-election.
Any idea why Kathleen Rice is not running?
I have no clue.
No clue. Well, you know what? You heard it here first. Actually, you know what the truth is? Kathleen Rice has been, she's had a lot of impressive positions, including the DA in Nassau County. So I'm just guessing she has additional political aspirations, but just really have no idea.
Really, I could guess a lot of things, but it would all be conjecture, so I'm not going to do that.
Well, this is a podcast, so this is all conjecture.
So maybe she wants to go into private practice and make some real money, perhaps.
Ah, there you go.
Or maybe she's just had enough of politics. Who knows?
Yeah, that's some really good conjecture. Who else is, there's a pretty dense field of Democrats. Who else is running?
Okay, so I apologize ahead of time because I'm going to butcher these names. But you have 4 people running for the Democratic nomination. Dr. Muzib Huq, H-U-Q. Keith Corbett, Carrie Solajas, and Laura Gillen. Laura Gillen seems to be, according to Newsday at least, the leading candidate right now with a 37% lead, according to their internal
Well, actually, no. Very specifically, it was a poll that was done by Laura Gillen's group. But Newsday was referencing it. I think the poll was actually a measurable poll, and it probably had some credibility. But again, let's keep in mind that the source is from the political party. This was not a Newsday poll.
Well, I'm pretty sure if I was running, I would get at least like 40% lead in my own household. So that's, so maybe.
Does that include your dog?
I don't think she's registered at the moment, but with the 4 registered people, I might get 3 votes.
All right, well, there you go. And that's also assuming that all 3 are registered Democrats, because, again, this is the Democratic primary. The Republican winner already is Anthony D'Esposito. He was a former Town of Hempstead council member, so that's locked in already, and I guess it's really a matter of which one of these 4 candidates are going to run against him.
I guess so, but we'll see what happens.
All right, so that's it for the elections. You know what? Head down to the library, and we're not exactly sure if the library closes earlier than 7 p.m., what happens to the polls, but I assume that they stay open because you can get right into the library and go right downstairs without having to go into the main section of the library.
At least Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, they are open till 9 o'clock, regular library hours, so that shouldn't be a problem. It would just be Friday, Saturday, and the library is closed on Sundays until Labor Day. So I guess we have to check on the hours for the early voting. But according to what we've heard, they're open till 7 every day for early voting.
Great. So, what else is going on in the community? We referenced this on the last This Week in West Hempstead, but I think we just should mention it again, which is that Tops Cleaners, which is really a not an official landmark, but I mean it's been around in West Hempstead for probably at least 50, 60 years. It's closing its doors at the end of this week.
Right. I guess as I read on West Hempstead Echo, the usage of dry cleaners probably has changed a lot over the last 3 years when people don't really have to go to work or necessarily even get dressed for that matter.
Yeah.
So they're probably using dry cleaners less often, and unfortunately, probably the we have a guest visitor.
I'm sorry, we're just losing our concentration a little bit because our dog Memphis just walked in, and he wants to be part of the podcast. So hopefully he's going to lay down, and we're going to continue with the show.
In any case, I wish them the best of luck, and if you have any clothing there, please make sure you pick it up ahead of time before they close.
And I would just say, fortunately, Paul, even though you can't see it, is wearing pants because the dog is like right underneath the table right now. And if he wasn't wearing pants, we'd be having a really difficult situation on our hands. So, this is like as live television. You never know what to expect. Memphis, you're really being a nuisance. And we're just going to try to keep going. That's great. Knocking into the camera. Audience, we apologize for what's going on. But
I don't know. This never happens when Norm's here. I don't know.
No, and actually, it never happens when Dan is here, because when Dan's here, Memphis behaves. Memphis really likes Dan and hangs out right in the Dan seat, which is where Memphis is right now, and hopefully he's going to be okay for the rest of the show. Okay. Again, almost live podcasting, you never know what's going to happen. So, just getting back to the whole cleaners situation. So, you know what? For the last, whatever, I used to bring my clothing to Tops, probably only because when we first moved into the community, it was the first dry cleaners that I went to. I'm not a person who changes things all that often, and I just kept bringing my stuff there. So, you just do it year after year and, till things change. So now I found myself without a dry cleaners. So I got to start shopping around. So my first stop is I had a bunch of shirts, and I brought them. And I forgot the name of the cleaners. Forgive me. It's the one that's across the street from Liquidators.
Liquidators, which closed.
Not Liquidators. You know what I'm talking about. The
Yes.
Liquidator Shopping Center,
Yes.
which will still soon be an apartment complex, and where you can still get liquor and gas and whatever. There's right before the gas station, there's a cleaners there.
I'm not familiar with it, but I know
How long have you been in the neighborhood?
Okay, I'm a teacher. I don't dry clean my shirts. I once had a supervisor who told me I should be ironing my T-shirts. I kind of laughed at her, and washing machine and dryer is fine for me. So
we're all learning a lot more about each other on this podcast than one would have ever thought. So, right, where the car wash is, next to where Liquidators used to be, right across from where the car wash is.
I'll just pretend that I know. So,
okay, whatever. It doesn't matter. There's a bag.
Yeah,
Whatever. I brought my shirts in there. Seemed like very nice people. One thing kind of threw me off, though, which was that they didn't have a computer system to enter the information for my ticket. Like they did it the old-fashioned way. They manually wrote out everything, and they gave me the ticket, which bothered me a little bit, only because if I lose that ticket, which inevitably I will, I just assume it's going to be a real pain in the neck to find. So that was a little bit of a strike.
That could be a problem, but on the other hand, if there's a blackout and you need to get your dry cleaning, they won't have a down computer system.
Exactly. So and as you all recall, last week we were talking about hurricane preparedness. So, if we are in a hurricane, there's a blackout, you need to go to the cleaners. This is the place to go to. So
hopefully they will have already done the cleaning, because I doubt that the machines will work if there's a blackout.
Right, it'll be done before.
Unless they go out in the back and they wash the clothing on a rock, and hang it on the bushes like they did in the 1800s.
With the old washboard.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Do a couple of songs. So then I wanted to try another dry cleaner. So I had a suit. I know you don't wear suits as being a teacher, but occasionally you would wear a suit, right?
On occasion.
Okay, so you wear a suit. Got to bring the suit into the cleaners. This time I tried Millennium Cleaners on Hempstead Turnpike. And, a little bit of a different experience. They seem much more modern. They took all my information right away, put it into the computer. I got my ticket. I felt like, a little bit more digitally in touch, but who knows? I guess the devil being the details. I guess we'll find out exactly when I pick up the suits and see how they did.
I've used them in the past. Everything's gone fine. They get it back to you when they ask. It's also, I don't use very often, but there are services that are available for pickup and delivery in this neighborhood, and that adds some convenience. So that's also an option.
You know what? Delivery is really important, and I would imagine, during COVID, that would have been a huge benefit to people to have a delivery service.
Well, it's definitely convenient.
Absolutely. All right, so I think it's probably more than anyone would really care to hear about dry cleaning. And moving along, so last week we talked about the concerts, the Town of Hempstead concerts. I know it's the part that everyone waits for every week.
That's my favorite part.
You know what? Apparently it's everyone's favorite part. People come up to me all the time saying, boy, did you really screw up that name or this name or, I don't know. You sent me to like Washington State. So it's probably good for comedy, but not so good for my reading acumen.
Well, it's also bad if you're listening to this podcast and we say like the show's tomorrow night, but it's tomorrow night for us, meaning the 17th, because today is the 16th, and you're listening to this on the 19th. So please pay attention to the dates also.
Exactly.
I've seen 2 concerts this summer already.
Oh, yeah? What'd you see?
I saw Billy Joel on the beach.
Billy Joel?
It wasn't actually Billy Joel.
Mike Del Judas?
I don't remember. There was one concert that was rained out on a Tuesday, and then there was another one, a different band, like Wednesday or Thursday. It was about 4 weeks ago. That was very nice.
'Cause I've seen Mike Del Judas do Billy Joel, and he's been amazing. And but I'm not sure if that was who you saw.
I don't recall, but it was very good. And then a few weeks ago, about 3 weeks ago, which is my favorite concert so far, was a band called something English, Play in English, maybe. They did a great show. Joe Jackson and Squeeze music mostly.
Oh, okay.
So a little Elvis Costello also for those like me who grew up in the 80s.
Yeah, gotta look sharp.
Very good.
Yeah. I know, it's about the only title I know. Great. So
what do we got coming up?
All right. Well, I'm glad you asked, and would have been better if I brought my reading glasses because it would have gone a lot smoother. But putting that part aside,
I have mine on. I can see for you if you want.
No, let's just go. August 17th. Enjoy one of Long Island's favorite eclectic rock bands, Wondrous Stories, at East Village Green in Levittown.
Right. I went online and they saw them playing Space Odyssey, which is classic again. From
David Bowie.
David Bowie from the 70s. Hello, Major Tom.
Yeah.
So.
And they were playing some other music, right? Was there some Led Zeppelin
maybe
or
some
Who?
It sounded like they had a pretty nice mix of music.
Yes, I guess they are Long Island's favorite eclectic rock band.
Well, it's my favorite eclectic rock band is Wondrous Stories.
Absolutely. So check them out at the East Village Green in Levittown. Coming up on the 18th, see Gypsy perform the hits of Stevie Nicks and Fleetwood Mac at Merrick Road Park in Merrick.
Stevie Nicks, again, it seems like a big percentage of this music is geared towards people in their 50s and maybe 60s.
Let's just pause here for a second. So you're so right. Last week, we had the Leonard Skinner New York tribute band.
Right here in Echo Park.
Right here in Echo Park. And I rode my bike. I was hanging out in left center field. And I think the average age was about 65, 70.
Well, I asked my daughter if she wanted to go, and she gave me a no.
So. Yeah, you know what? There were some young kids, but I don't know. It was, I think there were more walkers than there were, strollers. But you know what? It was a great show. They played all of Leonard Skinner's greatest hits.
Can you name some of those? Did I put you on the spot here?
Ooh, that smell that's around you.
Are they Freebird?
Freebird. I was going to go to Freebird. They had Mr. Saturday Night. They had a really good rendition of Mr. Saturday Night.
Isn't that on Broadway right now with Billy Crystal?
Maybe, but I mean, this was a Leonard Skinner song. And what's the other big Skinner song? Oh, Sweet Home Alabama, which also, was kind of annoying to me only because, when they get to the line of I hope Neil Young will remember Southern Man don't need him around, no one really cared. I think they were all asleep. I was like, I wanted to see the outrage. They're talking about Neil Young.
Well, it was around 9 o'clock, and if it was people in their 70s already at this concert,
I don't know. They were drinking something. I think it was maybe warm milk. I mean, it was.
So it could have been past their bedtime.
Yeah, and finally, you will on August 19th, you will want to take it easy at Desert Highway, as Desert Highway plays the hits of the Eagles at Town Park Point Lookout.
Again, Eagles, 70s, 80s music.
Take it easy.
The most famous Hotel California.
Hotel California, yeah. And,
of course, everyone thinks it's Hotel in California until you realize it's the Hotel California.
Correct. Right, just like Outerbridge Crossing is named after someone named Outerbridge. It's not the actual outer bridge.
Really?
I
was not aware of that.
Yeah, some random trivia that's been floating around. I think that's going to do it. You know what? Even the dog has left the podcast, so I think he's had enough of us. Anything else? Any rants? Anything on your mind? Maybe you want to rant about a rant? Or,
I asked you. You told me that these were not Mike's headphones, so these are not the ranting headphones.
We can give you the ranting headphones if you want, and I can leave the camera. And
I don't know. I think right now I'm good. I'm just happy to have finally made an appearance on your podcast.
Well, we're super happy that you were able to join us, and not only that, but Paul is a sports fanatic, and maybe next time we'll have Paul talk a little bit about local sports. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but maybe we'll talk about pickleball.
Actually, there is one interesting local sports thing, which I didn't do any research, but I believe there is for the first time in 40-something years, there's a Long Island team in the Little League World Series.
That's correct. Massapequa.
Massapequa. So they're not too far from West Hempstead, but, they represent Long Island, Nassau County.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. I saw a little bit of that game. I think they beat, Tom's River from New Jersey, and and it's really exciting. I mean, we're West Hempstead is not Massapequa, but not that far away from us, South Shore, and we got a root for South Shore, Long Island.
Long Island proud.
So I think that's going to do it for this week in West Hempstead. Join us next week. And Paul, thank you again for guest hosting, and have a great rest of the summer.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right.
All right.